Hey everyone, I am really excited to bring to you this video where I'm going to be sharing with you two of the notebooks that I started out with using when I was doing some of my program management work. And I'm going to share with you the notebook I started with, which is the Talia Notebook, and then the notebook that I am currently using, which is the Tool Notebook. Now, I want to say that when I first bought these notebooks, or at least the Talia Notebook, there were some things that I was thinking about that I liked, and so I went ahead and got that. But then once I put my eyes on the Tool Notebook, I realized that I needed to make a switch just because of the things that I was writing and overall just the structure of the notebook, the paper, and all of those things. So I'm going to get into what I think about it and what I started out doing, and then why I made the switch. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So first of all, let's start with the Talia Notebook. It's a really nice notebook. I like the vinyl cover. I chose the clear frosted cover. By the way, I got this on Amazon, and I really enjoyed the clean and simple look of it, the frosted cover with the different color dividers. I chose to put the blue one in the front because I like the way it looked. And the dividers were a great size. And of course, I like that it had multiple dividers because there are different projects that I am tracking. And so I thought overall that this was a really great notebook. And it is really a great notebook, but there were just a few challenges that I was having with it. And so I'm just going to give you an idea or just show you exactly what this notebook was like. So first, it starts with a rolling calendar, and then it has the monthly calendar. I put this to the back because I really didn't find as much use for it for what I was doing because my days change so much. And I have a lot of different things that happen, and some of them are very ad hoc. So I decided to put that to the back of my notebook because I didn't really find that I needed it very much. But I do like that it had that. It came undated, so you had to put the stickers there, which I did. But as you can see, I really did not use this monthly planner much at all. I started out with it, but realized that it just wasn't really helping me for what I needed. So let's flip back to the beginning of the notebook so I can show you what I did. I labeled all of my different tabs. You're going to have to pardon all of the labels and things because I was trying to figure out if I really wanted things the way I wanted them. So it's really nice, very clean, very slick and minimal. I added this happy planner insert here because it was just a simple notebook, and I was trying to find something where it gave me somewhat of a weekly outlook so that I could really see what my week was going to look like moving forward and be able to reference my week going back if I needed to review something without having to flip through all of my daily pages. So I really like this. It was very simple. And but what I did was, in order to really give me the actual structure that I needed to the pages, I started to design the pages myself. I would use a black box or some type of colorful box. I would add my own labels. I would put my own sticky notes, things of that nature, and really make the page fit what I need. And sometimes I needed the structure, and sometimes I just needed the space to take a lot of notes. So as you can see, I was using this and it did work. However, I did not find that I wanted to keep creating that type of structure every single day. While I did enjoy using the Happy Planner insert, which was very simple, and it gave me an overview of my week, there were a lot of different changes that were happening throughout my week. And so even this I found was getting a little bit difficult to work with. So I made a lot of changes and I would create my own headers. Of course, I didn't really need the Saturday, Sunday because this was for work. And so I would create my own headers and basically try to customize it to my needs. I really like that the paper looked nice, but of course the size of the paper did not fit the Talia, or really didn't fit it as well. So the top of the paper was, I had to decide, am I going to put it to the top of the disc or the bottom? I aligned it to the top, and then I would add just a top tab, and I would just put the things that was happening on each day. And I really enjoyed that. And then I would also create a schedule. So again, I would just design the page the way I needed it to be. And then I also had a label for where I was on a particular day. So I labeled my weeks, and then I had a page flag or a page divider or tab for that actual day. So I could easily flip to that page and see what I was working on. So I was building out this design or structuring my pages every single day. Got a little bit tired of doing that. And so I knew that I needed to make a change. As much as I like this book, I felt that this was more of just a simple notebook for someone taking a class versus for someone like me who's a program manager and I have to manage a lot of different projects. It was just a lot. So I turned to the tool Notebook. One, it's beautiful. I chose this gray pebbled cover. It's beautiful. I really love it. It's very slick and simple. I feel like it's fashionable, but also great use for the office, whether at home or actually in the office. So I do really like the look of this notebook. It is totally giving me what I need. It feels good, and I'm very happy with the quality of this notebook. I really like that it had the vertical slots or the pockets so I could put pages in there. I really love the paper. It feels really good. I like that it has the header at the top of each page so you can label your pages with whether it's a meeting or a project or whatever it is that you're focused on for that day, and that little box on the right for the date. So the paper is really, really nice. It feels good. Now I'm just going to show you the other inserts that I got for this notebook, because this notebook just came with, it just came empty. So I bought some inserts. The first insert I turned to, of course, was a daily insert, a daily page, because as you saw in my Talia, I needed something where I could really plan out my day. I have a lot of meetings throughout the day. And so I love that this goes from 5 o'clock all the way to, I believe it is 11 o'clock. So I really like that I could structure out my entire day here. I don't add any personal tasks here because I use this strictly for work. So I keep those things separate. But I do like that if I have to start my day really, really early, those time blocks are there. And I also like to at least indicate what time I'm starting my day, so I know the number of hours that I've worked that day, and it just makes it really easy to capture that versus trying to remember all the time. So that worked out really, really well for me. And it also just allows me to see where I have some white space in my day if I wanted to squeeze in a personal task or go do something really quick, maybe take a quick walk or run or go make lunch. So I really enjoyed that. I love having the schedule on the right side and then having the all of the other things on the left side, the priorities, the to-dos, and then a space for notes. So this structure really worked well for me. This is what I really, really love about this, is because if I have a abbreviated day, I can really basically just use this one page and I can take this out, take it with me, or I can take the whole notebook. But the great thing is that I'm able to keep my days organized. So I really, really enjoy using this paper, and it has been way more helpful. And of course, I've saved a lot more time using the daily page, the tool daily page, versus having to actually create the page or design a page that I was doing in the previous notebook. So this works out really well for me, and I am really loving it. It has helped me a lot to stay focused. I have been able to really develop a system for how I want to track my days, track my time, track my meetings. I'm going to show you some things that came with this notebook, or actually things that I bought. It's a little small plastic, somewhat of a dashboard, I guess you could call it, and it has the page flags, multiple colors. I really like that. And at the time, I hadn't really come up with a system for how I want to use those page flags, but I do like that I can use it as a bookmark. And those markers, those page flags are right there, and I can slip it in, slip it out as I need to. It's really, really great. But if there's something that I need to highlight, whether it's an action item or if it's a question or something that I need to remember, then I have this, and it stands out. And so I think this is a really great add-on for me, and it just really helps to boost my productivity and also helps boost my efficiency with being able to recall and go back or reference other materials as needed. So here are some other inserts that came with the notebook. So I love these colors. By the way, I think it is important that you like every aspect of your notebook, even down to the colors. And some of the colors are actually very similar to the ones I had in the Talia. And some of you may pronounce it Talia. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I like these dividers. They're very nice. They are, although they're colorful, I find that they're also very professional colors where they're not too hard on the eyes versus something that is super, super bright. So I like that I was able to implement some color into my notebook without really straining the eyes on the various colors. And it came with the right amount of dividers, so that worked out really well for me, where I'm able to organize my notebook based on the projects that I am focused on. Now we're going to start to look at another thing that I got for this notebook. And this was just a very small, I basically call it like a task manager type insert or little small divider, really. And it's just for little quick notes when it's not something that I really need to keep in my notebook, but maybe it's something that I need to track. So sometimes if there is a meeting and I know that there's just a lot of different action items or something that I don't want to put in my notebook, but need to reference or go research or just get more information about it, I can do that as a reminder. And then I can add that information to my notebook. And it's also great to use as just a running to-do list if you have things that you need to do that are not actually date specific, but you know you need to get them done. This was also a great add-on that I could use for my notebook. And I like that there's enough pages. You can also write on it front to back. So I found that to be a great thing to add into my notebook as well, to stay more organized and more efficient. So now we are going to really just start to look at the other things that I added to this notebook. And again, I think that it's really important that you remain very flexible with how you set up your notebook, because you may need it one way, and then as you're using it and as time goes on, you realize that you need to make some changes, and that is totally okay. So I want to just kind of remind you all that you don't have to be stuck with the way your notebook is. I think it's really important that you make the changes as you need, because your process, your system will become more refined over time. And as you become more efficient, there may be some things that you find that you can do differently in your notebook that will support your ability to be more efficient. So whether it's changing how you do your schedule, how you are dividing up your notebook and choosing the various topics you want to track, how you want to do specific add-ins to your notebook, whether it is page marker or a running to-do list, it's important that you add those things to your notebook so that you can feel supported with the tools that you use. I was really happy that I made this switch. Again, there's no discredit to the Talia. I think that this was more for classroom use versus this I found to be more professional use. Now, again, I am working from home. I work from home every single day. And so as far as the look goes, that wasn't as big of a deal as far as being in an office per se, but I did want something that had a professional look. I also like the pen holder there, and I got these tool pens. They were also really, really nice. I love the look of these tool pens, and when I saw them, I totally could not pass them up, but they are very nice. They are 0.7. They write really, really beautifully, and I really love the rose gold. So they're all black. These are black ink pens, and they are a gel ink pen, and I find that these are very classy looking, and they also write really well. And of course, the favorite one for me right now is the rose gold. I love the way it just stands out, and just the detail there with the rose gold just embedded here and there. And it just really gives a simple black pen a little touch of class. So I really like that. It's very slick. It's also a push top. And so I really like that as well. And I don't have to worry about losing a top, which I tend to do sometimes. So that is really nice. And of course, it has this great pen holder there because it's a tool pen. It fits really, really nicely. So I am really happy with this purchase. I'm really happy with the paper. It feels good. It looks good. I like the lines. There's plenty of line space, so I can really get a lot of notes on one page. And it has just a very nice professional look. And overall, it just makes me happy to write in. So I think that's most important, is that you want to be able to refer to whatever you use often. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I'll be chatting with you soon. You all take care and have a blessed day.